Okay, it's day 1082 off the grid. Yeah, getting up there. This is the day of the summer solstice 2017. And here I am in the MavTech studio. And I'm not here about Radio Foxton really, although this is obviously Radio Foxton. I'm here because tonight, me and Baffy did our summer solstice recording live on air during the metal show. Yeah, that's right. We recorded 3 cuts of our new song, which is a cover version of Timberjack / Black Widow, or Black Widow originally wrote it, Come to the Sabbath. So this is a film, the setup video, of course. So you'll see the Radio Foxton gear, and you'll see our special little bits of gear that you're probably pretty familiar with now, nestled amongst it. So obviously guitars, Fender Metal Strat, go-to for recording and standard tuning when I don't have to take a compact thing, of course. Baffy's bass over here, semi-packed up, but you've seen that plenty of times before. There's her lead and the new tuner that was given to us by Lieutenant Dude. So there's another big shout out to Lieutenant Dude, that's been a really, really good tuner. Baffy's amp plug here, everything nicely taped down. Goes over here to the Digitech sound card, of course. And here's my amp plug nestled in here. I used the Vox Night Train. Can you see it there? The Night Train for this recording, because it just had a better tone for this kind of slightly less heavy track. I mean, we don't want to Come to the Sabbath and black metal. We want to keep a little bit of that 70s occult music vibe to it, you know? So when I use this, I always run it through the special lead that I've made that's got this capacitor installed in line, which passes more treble, so it attenuates some bass and some level, but that doesn't matter because it's easily made up, because this thing is just too bassy normally for my liking, but with that, it's a great tone. So yeah, so that's plugged into the little Digitech audio interface. Baffy's bass in there. The outputs go through this cable that runs all the way around here and back over and ultimately into the desk, and we came into the radio desk through this channel number 9 here, that one there. So yeah, I better take us off here before I start doing some edits. Yeah, and of course we recorded here on the AC and Audacity like we usually do. It's just sitting here this time, and mouse pad and stuff. Yeah, so that was it. So sort of started the show with a couple of tracks from Dark Throne, a bit of Burzum, and then we played our stuff and then played a whole lot of metal, and just finished with the Sisters of Destruction of Silent Night, I guess. Yeah. There's a show sitting over there. So this computer was recording the show as usual, and that one was just recording our guitar and bass and playing the drum tracks back. So yeah, so that's how I did it, yeah. We used the main studio speakers up there as our monitors, of course. I didn't need any little battery-powered speakers this time around. Might as well show you guys a couple of things about the studio while we're here, though, that have changed. I've tidied up this area. You see a lot of the gear that was sitting around this table's gone, because I want to make some room over here for this new piece of equipment here. It's an old Akai tape deck, in fact, a sister to the one I still have sitting at home in my parents' shed that I used to use up at the Noctum Studios. The reason why I'm using this here is the cassette drive doesn't work properly anymore, though it probably could be restored without too much problems, but it's not what I need it for. It's got a really good limiter built in, and the limiter will actually work on the line inputs, which are up here, and pass the result of the limiting through to the line output. So you can basically use it as a limiter unit, and I've got it on our microphones now because I was getting a bit tired of having to fiddle with the levels of the microphones during the edit, and I wanted something to even them out a bit, to make it a bit simpler for me. So got 2 transformers now, because it obviously comes from a balanced output that this broadcast stamp gives, and then goes to a balanced input on the desk over there. So those sort of do level matching as well. It's quite clever, but I won't go into that because that gets a bit too geeky for the scope of this really, although it is a gear video. I guess it is a gear video, but not really an electronics video. Yeah, didn't bring the Lieutenant Dude goblets this time, but there is meat in that cup. It does help. Yeah, it was a pretty cool show tonight. Played a bit of Kiss here, music from the older. Yeah, there's a cool song on there I like, so I played that. But that's basically it now. I should pull the stuff down because the boys are out in the other room, and we might go and do something. We don't want to just be all radio, all music here. We don't like to do that totally on these kind of days, you know, like a bit of family stuff as well. Of course, you know, it is kind of a family day, but it's not like the winter solstice, is it? You know, this is the summer solstice where you get out about and do things. This is a time when the Vikings went on raids, you know, and it's not Yule here in New Zealand. It's not Yule. People call it Yule because they think, oh well, that's the pagan way of calling Christmas. But you know, Christmas is Christmas everywhere because it's shitness, isn't it? It's merely Christ myth. It's a load of bollocks, but it's a bollock that is repeated everywhere at the same time and the same date. But whereas pagan stuff is really about the seasons. I mean, you know, the Maoris had their paganism. They wouldn't have been running around at the summer solstice here doing winter solstice things, would they? No. And if the Vikings had come over in those days and set up camp here, they would be doing their winter solstice things at the winter solstice. That's a fact. It's not really a fact, is it? It can't really be proven, but it's pretty fucking likely, don't you think? Anyway, rant over. That'll do. I'll turn this off now and carry on. Day 1082 off the grid. Fuck.